The following is a special presentation of Extreme eSpeed TV, your new home for everything iRacing and eSpeed.
People want to have a one-stop shop. They need us for now all these different services, not just the heating and air side.
When things are going wrong, you want the company that's going to be able to get things done as fast as possible for you.
Today we're going to be in over 600 homes. What the customers can count on is we're going to send a competent person to your home with a vehicle that's stocked and prepared. We're going to do what's right.
Right now, we're waiving our $79 service fee with any Coolray, Brightbox, or Mr. Plumber service.
Dyer Trucking in Mohawk, Tennessee is family-owned and operated, and their main goal is to always please their customers and deliver their freight in a timely manner. If you need it hauled and you're in East Tennessee, the number you need is 423-393-4229. That's 423-393-4229. Dyer Trucking's also on Facebook. Pick up the phone and give Brad and his family a call today. Dyer Trucking. If you need it, they can get it. Find them on Facebook.
Good evening, race fans, and welcome to Volusia Speedway Park. It is night number 3 of Coolray Winternationals here, the 4th race of our 2023 season. I am Travis Pierceville, joined as always by Adam Johnson. So far this week, Adam, we had Dalen Perry pick up a win. Last night, that 182 of Tater Williams picks up the win. And looking at these charts during hot laps, they're both here and ready to play tonight with 2 fast hot rods.
Yeah, you noticed from really our group of heavy hitters last night, you had Tater Williams, Dylan Perry, and Austin McGlone. Austin McGlone, at least for the moment, not registered and entered into tonight's action, so a good opportunity for Tater and Dylan to kind of get more battling. And then it really comes down to, well, who's going to be the one that kind of gets in the mix with them, assuming those two will be in the top 2. Is it another Brett Carlton strong performance that we're looking at? Is it Jacob Laster? Aiden Young, could he get up there? And you know what? One of the rookies, Bob Klein, that's definitely a name that came up more times than ever last night. The Minnesota man himself. So I'm eager to see what's going on because right now it's early in the season, but it is a 9-point difference in the point standings between second and first.
So as you mentioned, we've got 17 drivers here tonight. A few drivers choosing to go home after their first 2 races, which is fine. You get to drop one of these 3, Adam. So if you look at Tater Williams or Dylan Perry, either one of them picks up a win tonight, they leave here with their 2 best finishes being wins, and that makes a huge difference, especially when you look at the tight point standings we currently have, as you've got Tater Williams up 9 points on last year's champ.
Yeah, and you mentioned dropping the worst race, but if you're the rest of these guys, I don't want to see Tater Williams or Dylan Perry in victory lane. I want to see my best foot forward. I want to think less about what I'm going to drop and more about what's the good performance I'm going to keep. And I do think we're going to see some drama tonight. You know, some of the heavy hitters are missing with a little bit of a lighter field this evening. All I see right there is open opportunities. So night number 3 with about 15 minutes left in practice, it's going to fly by, much like this entire week has already. Can you believe we're already in the second week of racing? Next week will mark week 3 before a jam-packed month of March. And we'll get into that more in Adam's notebook, but for now, we're just enjoying the sweet sounds and sights of practice.
So if you see the hot lap times over here, you have Jesse Isidore. He is second fastest. That is a 15:83. Looking to make some noise. You have other rookies, Bobby Rafferty and Bob Klein, there in the top 5 as well. Aiden Young in 6th. He had a good run last night, cut short by a late caution that he was caught up in. But 17 guys here tonight here at Volusia Speedway Park, ready to take on the 3rd chapter of our Coolray Winternationals here early in this 2023 season. And we have 17 guys, all but 2, Joshua Johnson and Aiden Young. They made laps here early in the session, so you can see both of them into the top 10, at least here early.
Yeah, and you see some of the missing drivers. You got Piercefield, Bowman, a rookie. So really, and you're looking at these fast times, it looks like we got one jump into the top there because for a brief moment, we've got 4 rookies in the top 10 when it comes to these hot laps. So 17 drivers. It's going to be we've said this twice already this week, but it's going to be a completely different track. Basically, each stage of this evening, when we get to Houston Guttering Time Trials, then the Carrier Heat Races, then the Combs Cuts Last Chance Showdown, and then, of course, our feature 50-lap event. This track is going to look a lot darker, so enjoy the sunshine, enjoy kind of the light look of the track, because it's only getting more dirty. We may not have a full field tonight, but that track is going to get put to the test as it has all week long.
One driver we've talked a lot about here had a great run on Tuesday night was Brett Carlton in that 221. A little off last night, Adam, and it looks at least here during hot laps, time-wise, a little off as well. It's only about 13 tenths of a second there, but you can see he is maybe off since Tuesday. Great run on Tuesday night, came away with a podium finish, but he's definitely someone that's looking to rebound tonight.
Yeah, I mean, he's in a great spot right now. McGlone not racing tonight. The man that's in front of him in the point standings. So Carlton sitting 4th right now. That's a name we should probably write down, probably star and say, okay, how are they going to perform in the Houston Guttering Time Trials? I'd like to see if he's still middle of the pack or if he kind of makes a few adjustments and gets it locked in and dialed up for really the events that matter as we get about 13 minutes remaining in practice, getting a good look there at the number 55 of Steven Spees, also a guy in the top 10 of the point standings. So some good-looking schemes out there. We don't often get to see them in the daylight all the time, so we appreciate you joining us on Extreme eSpeed TV. Hey, as a reminder, always available to drop some comments on the Extreme eSpeed TV YouTube channel. We had some great chatter earlier in this week, including yesterday as well. Just people really can't get enough, much like you and I, Travis, can't get enough of this Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series racing as, man, we get a good look at that 22 car as well. Brandon Bender looking to kind of get on track. So a lot of storylines this season, both following up from last year as well as new storylines, as you see Isidore with that 2nd spot right now as a rookie, Rafferty 4th. I'm excited to watch these rookies all year. They've proven that they're meant to be in this league so far.
Well, hot laps will continue. We'll take a quick commercial break here from Volusia Speedway Park. You're watching night number 3 of Coolray Winternationals here on Extreme eSpeed TV.
Racers that win, pour it in, and we appreciate you.
People want to have a one-stop shop. They need us for now all these different services, not just the heating and air side.
When things are going wrong, you want the company that's going to be able to get things done as fast as possible for you.
Today, we're going to be in over 600 homes. What the customers can count on is we're going to send a competent person to your home with a vehicle that's stocked and prepared. We're going to do what's right.
Right now, we're waiving our $79 service fee with any Coolray, Brightbox, or Mr. Plumber service.
Welcome back to Volusia Speedway Park. It is night number 3 of Coolray Winternationals here with the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series. Adam, let's change gears here as we head into the drivers' meeting here with the drivers with the race promoter Cody Early. Up in the booth, we'll bring up our favorite part. It's Adam's notebook.
Good to have the notebook back. I tell you what, I'm getting some carpal tunnel from all the riding I've been doing this week. It's not often we get a triple header with the Coolray Winternationals, but it's a good thing to have here in the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series. So some news and nuggets to keep in mind. We've got a three-way tie for the most wins in series history between Tater Williams, Dylan Perry, and Chase Wascom. All of them have the lucky number of 13. Now, the winningest driver with the next win, I mean, that's just going to be our crown jewel right there. I cannot wait to see. Most likely, it's going to be Tater Williams or Dylan Perry. And it could happen tonight. Maybe it doesn't. I think we may even have all the more drama if neither of them wins. And I'm not cheering for this, but if neither of them wins this evening, it's just going to make the month of March even more dramatic. Why is March so dramatic? Well, the series schedule has a race in every single Wednesday in the month of March. That's right, beginning next week, including the first ever trip to Lucas Oil Speedway. So that's one you're going to not want to miss here on Extreme eSpeed TV. Also, the Ice Bowl will be the first week of March. And keep in mind, that's going to be moving from Weedsport, if you remember, to Lernerville. So really excited to get that. I know the guys in the garage are kind of pumped up about some of these tweaks that series promoter and director Cody Early put in place. It's something he puts a lot of thought and care to, and it clearly shows. Another thing, transitioning to where we stand right now in the moment, the 107 Tire and Service Center Rookie of the Year. Well, we've got 5 rookies in the top 10, so this is a strong rookie class, a lot like last year if you remember. So another thing Travis mentioned earlier on the broadcast, keep in mind, night number 3 of Coolray Winternationals, drivers can drop their worst performance. So if you end on a bad note, don't sweat. But hey, if you crush it tonight, you can just think about which one you want to drop, and thankfully that's the way the cookie crumbles. So don't think we will have as large of a field. We've got 17 tonight, still a lot of guys missing, I'd say about 5 or so, but we're gonna see about these heats, possibly 3 max of the career heat races. And before I wrap up the notebook, at the risk of sounding like a broken record, I do want to touch on a few of the recruiting races with registration not open just yet, but coming soon. April 12th, the Heartbreaker at Limaland, $100 to win. June 7th, Love Our Troops 100 at Kokomo, $100 to win as well with the ASCA 360 Sprint Car Series. And then November 8th, the Early Bird 100 at Lucas Oil. That's a $200 to win race, and the winner locks themselves into the Icebreaker. So, as always, want to let you know that on Facebook, we are facebook.com/PLM Dirt Series, PLM Dirt Series on Instagram, and should you have any questions, concerns, or just can't wait to talk to Cody, email us at plmdirtseries@gmail.com. And just like that, at least for the end of this week, that's Adam's notebook, and I am very excited to just get a few more notes jotted down and get talking to you guys for what will be a very busy March.
So with that, Adam, a lot of racing coming up next month, a lot of racing coming tonight. Next up, we're going to have Houston guttering time trials here from Volusia. After that, our carrier heat races, and then our main feature event here tonight. But for now, we're going to take one more quick commercial break before cars get on the track for time trials. You're watching Extreme eSpeed TV.
It rose from humble beginnings in the Valley of the Sun. A sprint car racer saw the need for racing shirts. And now, the vision of Carl Korbacher has resulted in Arizona Sport Shirts helping racers across America spread their message. For the best custom designed shirts, hoodies, caps, koozies, and much more, go to ArizonaSportShirts.com. Be part of history. Arizona Sport Shirts, the original racing shirt.
We take many precautions to stay protected. Online protection requires the same amount of precaution. Cybercrime is a $6 trillion industry. Roughly 158 people fall victim to this type of crime every second, and a business will be compromised every 11 seconds. In the last 3 years alone, the number of malicious websites has increased by 130%. Bottom line, you need protection from someone you trust. Call Computer Pros for protection plans as low as $4 a month.
People want to have a one-stop shop. They need us for now all these different services, not just the heating and air side.
When things are going wrong, you want the company that's going to be able to get things done as fast as possible for you.
Today, we're going to be in over 600 homes. What the customers can count on is we're going to send a competent person to your home with a vehicle that's stocked and prepared. We're going to do what's right.
Right now, we're waiving our $79 service fee with any Coolray, Brightbox, or Mr. Plumber service.
Welcome back to Volusia Speedway Park. Adam, hot laps are done, and we're moving on to Houston Guttering Time Trials.
We are, and I'm eager to see who's going to hit the track first. As we've seen most of this week, the earlier you get out there, tend to get a better part of the track and get some faster times. Now, that could be different tonight, but I do want to say, I'm not sure how they determine who goes first and so on, but I do believe we're going to see some of our faster times early if I'm just going off of repetition.
So we have the first two drivers out there. It looks like it's going to be Tater Williams, our 2021 champion and night number 2 winner here at Volusia. Looks like he's got a couple of Gambler Motorsports there next to him, along with Cody Early.
Maybe it's Cody hopping out there first. And it looks like it will be. Got to let the director out there early out of Greenville, Tennessee, with the Bass Pro Shops, Johnson City Toyota, Warrior Race Cars, Vortex wrapped in Oakley sunglasses. He's got that Warrior Race Car chassis and ECR race engines, making his 58th start. The man has 6 top 10s, going for number 7 tonight.
Also out on the track, as mentioned, that 182 of Tater Williams. He's our 2021 champion from Clifty, Kentucky. Coolray, Chip Banger Racing, Combs Cuts, B&B Custom Baits, DPR, Bang & Sets, Bluegrass Motorsports Media, FHP Consulting. He, of course, picked up his 13th career win, tying him with Dylan Perry and Chase Wascom for series history leaders in that category. And his first time's a 16:01, just besting Cody Early.
Yeah, pretty competitive first couple laps there. Not much time separating the two. Like we said, earlier you can get out there, possibly the better. So, I mean, I know we still have, 15 cars still to go out there. I don't think anyone's going to top Tater. I'm going to say it.
Well, you do see a 16:01. They were getting just into the 15 seconds last night, so we'll see if just overall this track might be a little bit slower tonight. But we definitely have some guys coming up here shortly that will test that lap of Tater Williams.
That's right, as we see John Hine trying to beat that time out of St. Louis, Missouri with Coolray, the Cruise Shop, and Gambler Motorsports. He's got that Rayburn race car chassis and Hatfield Power, making his 24th start in the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series. 4 top 5s.
Also on the track is our 2022 champion. It's Dylan Perry. He won night number 1 here at Volusia on Tuesday night. Ringgold, Georgia native, Coolray, Rapid Racecraft, Stealth Racing Carburetors, Harrison Automotive, Newt's Lawn Care, MSW Construction. That's a Longhorn chassis, and as mentioned, 13 career Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series wins. And for a moment, John Hine shot to the top of the charts, but Dylan Perry will best him with a 1596.
Man, nothing makes sense to me right now. I'll tell you what, these later, I mean only 4, so not too much later, but it looks like there's still a lot of speed to be had out there, so the sooner you can get out there, go get it.
John Hine will not improve on his third and final lap. See if Dylan Perry is able to improve his best. It will not. He will stay a 15.96.
But you're right, we were seeing some, if I remember right, maybe like a 15.86. We saw a little bit quicker earlier in the week, and we still could see that tonight as we watch the 55 of Steven Spees head out there. Spees out of Lee's Summit, Missouri, with Midwest Turbo and Performance. He's got the iRacing chassis and Intel race engines inside. 7 top 5s in just 31 starts. So, in start number 32, we'll see if he can pick up one more.
Also on the track, his Gambler Motorsports teammate, that's Aiden Young. Aiden comes from Dalton, New Hampshire, Coolray Heating and Cooling, Young Gun Creations, Simtrex Broadcasting, Gambler Motorsports, Capital Race Cars, RPM Race Engines. He has one career Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series victory. Steven Spees will be 5th fast with a 16.12. Aiden Young's first lap's good enough for a 3rd fast, a 16.01.
Good speed out there tonight. Very competitive here in Houston Guttering Time Trials. It's a pretty tight mix right now. As we watch Spees wrap up his run. Aiden Young also making some of his final turns. See if he can improve. Still at a 16.01.
Steven Spees will shut it down, 6th fastest. Aiden Young will conclude his lap as well. He'll be 3rd fastest, just behind his Gambler Motorsports teammate, John Hine. Now in the track, it's that 1C machine of Colin Boyles from Decatur, Illinois. Building Systems of Illinois' Logitech, Rich DPC, Trimbley and Sun Concrete, GT Omega Racing Simulators. Making his 42nd career start tonight. He's got 9 top 10s, 2 top 5s.
Also out there, the 41 of Brian Boyles from Decatur, Illinois, with the Trimby and Son Concrete Longhorn chassis and Reunion engines, making his 53rd start. He's got 12 top 10s, looking for lucky number 13 tonight, as guys like Perry and Williams seek their 13th win in the league history.
The Boyles will end up 7th and 8th with their laps. 16.25 for Brian and a 16.32 for Colin. And that is where they will end up. As next up, it looks like it's going to be that 117 of Joshua Johnson.
That's right, as he rolls out there from Waynesville, Georgia. He's got Vortex Wraps, Branson Woodward Racing, HJR Cinematography, Speed Ranch E-Setups, Moza Racing, and Speed Ranch Shocks with that Barry Wright race car chassis and Ingram race engines inside. 4 top 10s looking for number 5 tonight in start 26.
Also on the track is that 22 machine of Brandon Bender from Minford, Ohio. B&B Custom Baits, Limitless, Custom Creations, Chip Banger Racing, and Coolray Heating and Cooling. He has 53 career starts, 15 top 5s, 40 top 10s. First lap's going to be 2nd fast, a 16 flat, just behind Dylan Perry. Joshua Johnson's first lap, 9th fastest, is 16.16. Brandon Bender's 2nd lap does not improve. Joshua Johnson's 2nd lap, also a tick slower, so he'll end up 9th. Brandon Bender ends up 2nd fast.
So that elusive 15-second range right now is Perry the only one to crack the second of 15. Everyone else in the 16s as we watch the 221 of Brett Carlton roll out. Carlton out of Royal Palm Beach, Florida with LTX Home Builders, water experts and LC Property Investments in that Rocket XR1 chassis in Southern Style race engines, making his 33rd start tonight with 6 top 5s.
Also out on the track is that 12 machine, that is Jordan Van Westen. Del Rapids, South Dakota Pizza Ranch, Norby's Bar and Grill, TNC's Self-Service, Rapid Fitness, MB Custom Sputz Race Engine, making his 22nd career Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series start. So Carlton will end up 7th fastest, a 16.08. Van Westen, 12th fastest, a 16.63.
So good to see John Hine up there. A very interesting top 5 where you know you're going to see Perry and Williams often in it, but kind of sandwiched between them. You got Bender, Hine, and Young, 3 guys who are looking to probably have their best race of the night. Now, if they can keep it up in the carrier heat races, no shock to me if these guys all end up in the top 5, but a lot of racing to be had tonight. We know that feature goes by quickly as we see the number 13 of Caleb Ramsey, one of our rookies out there out of Lafayette, Tennessee with Mud Duck Racing, Spartan Transportation, Sweet Victory Apparel, the showroom at Westwoods, and that Warrior Race Car and Stephen Fields Racing Engines, making his 4th start, already has 2 top 10s.
Also on the tracks, that 51, it's Jacob Lassiter from Dresden, Tennessee, Hot Lap Heroes Racing, 789 Designs, McGreen, the Sud Shop. He has some records of his own. Most starts, 60th tonight, 36 top 5s, 47 top 10s. So he will extend that series lead of starts into another round number there with 60 tonight. He will end up 10th fastest, so 16.14. Caleb Ramsey right behind him with a 16.15.
Got another one of our rookies out there. Still getting to know Bobby Rafferty out of Middletown, New York, with Exiled Esports, Ancient World Gaming, Next Level Racing, Simrat Market, yeah, many more with that Bloomquist chassis and J. Dickens engine builder. He's got 3 starts, 2 top 10s, and 1 top 5. Looking to bump each of those numbers up this evening.
We're going to end with 3 rookies. Our second of those 3 is Bob Klein. Great run last night as he was our quick time. Grand Rapids, Minnesota, Team CFM Esports. Sweet Victory Apparel, Spartan Transportation, WR1 Sim Chassis. Making his 3rd career start. His time 6th fast, a 16.04 is Bobby Rafferty, 11th fast with a 16.12.
And we got the number 9 machine last, but certainly not least, number 9 of Jesse Isidore out of Smellport, Pennsylvania, with his Ancient World Gaming FGR Excel Next Level Gaming, bucked up Premier Racing Setups and FGR Excel in his Barry Wright race car chassis. in Dream Racing Engines. 3 top 10s in all 3 of his starts. Look to see if he can maybe get a top 5 or better. Top 1 tonight.
So interesting with the speeds, it kind of held par there, Adam, as you mentioned. Going early benefited the guys that were of those first couple groups. But you got to think with Dylan Perry here sitting atop, as Jesse will have a 16.27, good enough for 16th fastest. If Dylan Perry's time does hold up, he's going to set himself up nicely for that carrier heat race, and then in turn set him up nicely for that feature. And he's going to be someone that's going to be tough to beat here at Volusia.
Absolutely. I think the perfect conditions, when he doesn't have Austin McGlone battling him, he being Dylan Perry, it's going to be a little bit easier. But Tater Williams, maybe not his favorite track, and he'll openly admit that. May not be his favorite track, but he's always a factor as we get set now for what will be our first of the carrier heat races.
Adam, you've got our starting lineup for carrier heat race number 1.
Starting up top, it'll be the man we've mentioned quite a few times before, Dylan Perry, defending champ side by side with Aiden Young. In the middle, we've got Cody Early and Colin Boyles, and right behind them, 5th and 6th, will be Jacob Lassiter and Brian Boyles.
So it's 6 cars in this heat. So with 6 cars in this heat, that means those 3 heat races will all we get of carrier heat races.
If Perry can get kind of his classic quick restart, I think it's going to be a very difficult one for guys like Young and Boyles to catch up to as we see the pace car lights off. When we roll back around next time, we should be green with the first carrier heat race. As we see them making the rounds. Beautiful night here in Barberville, Volusia Speedway Park. Good to see fans and crews both in the infield. And of course, full stands, especially for tonight's feature. Pace truck comes off.
Dylan Perry, Aiden Young will take us to green. Side by side through 1 and 2. This track's been difficult to pass on all week. We've had great racing at them, but the passing has been at a premium.
It has been, and we've seen some battles up front as it looks like, one of them into the walls. It looks to be Voyle. Not sure the caution's going to come out, though. See if he can recover, and it looks like he will. But like you said, not a ton of passing, but what we have seen is a lot of battles taking place kind of in the middle of the pack, and they're clearly all fanned out right now. And, man, Perry might be able to catch up and lap Voyles, who is desperately trying to gain some speed and make sure his car can be right for a later action tonight.
So Colin Boyles all over the back of that 69 machine of Aiden Young as they battle for the second spot. It's Dylan Perry out front. He's got about 0.7 of a second lead here early, as we've got 5 laps to go in carrier heat race number 1.
That's right, the laps ticking by. 4 to go now. Perry commanding lead and might not have enough time to catch up to Brian Boyles, but he's going to put a little bit of pressure on him, of course. Is pretty single file at the moment, with Young and Boyles being Colin Boyles may be able to make a little bit of drama in these final 2.5 laps.
Dylan Perry, you can actually see Brian Boyles just up ahead. shouldn't be a part of the traffic for Dylan Perry, as there's only 2 laps to go here. And it's going to be interesting to see how that line, so far here early, Adam, this Carrier Heat Race number 1 looks similar to the past 2 nights about where they're racing and what that line could do throughout the evening.
Absolutely. As Perry takes the white flag, I think this is going to be a familiar sight tonight. May get a little restacked if we get some cautions, but this isn't a track that's given us a ton of cautions as Dylan Perry comes around. And he will take Carrier Heat Race number 1, Dylan Perry, Aiden Young, Colin Boyles, followed by Lassiter Early and Brian Boyles.
And now we'll... Moving on to Carrier Heat Race number 2, and here's your starting lineup.
That's right, already into 2. It'll be Brandon Bender side by side with 2021 champ Tater Williams. Behind them, Brett Carlton and rookie Bobby Rafferty, followed by a fellow rookie Caleb Ramsey, then Jordan Van Weston.
So it's Brandon Bender, Tater Williams on that front row for this Carrier Heat Race number 2. 8 laps around this Volusia Speedway Park track. And it's our second of 3 heat races here tonight. So they will get packed up there, 6 cars.
Meaning we'll have one more to go after this, but not wishing time away as the pace truck pulls off. We're ready for a shootout.
So Williams and Bender, will be interested to see what Tater Williams can do with that outside line here to start. Green flag waves, 8 laps around Volusia as it's Bender and Williams on that front row battling down the back stretch for the lead.
And really for Tater Williams, I think he likes that outside line as he gets a little bit of a whoop-de-doo, a little crossover right there. Tater Williams, now your clear leader. Oh, a little bit of contact, the first caution is out.
Bobby Rafferty involved in that. We saw that happen live. As we'll watch that 77 machine backed up over the end of the wall there on the front stretch. Round he goes with Carlton behind him up over that. Ooh, hard. Hey, he's going to feel that tomorrow.
Almost hit the safety truck. Luckily, Lazy Eye Larry and Leadfoot Lenny quick to respond and stay out of the way. Always good to have the right eye on that one for Larry.
So the yellow flag waving there as we pass by the flags, man. Look at this crowd here tonight. Just wonderful seeing all these race fans out here at Volusia, Adam.
That's one thing we like about the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series. They draw crowds really from everywhere. You know, anytime we travel into town, it's no shock. Any track they show up to, they're going to have fans that show out. Including some of the fans online. As we mentioned on Extreme eSpeed TV, chime in with us here on our YouTube feed. Love to get your predictions and thoughts tonight as we'll get one more lap around likely from the pace truck. Lenny and Larry will be checked and hopefully cleared from the infield medical center. Appreciate the concern in the chat.
So, we mentioned it a little bit. Cody Terry, Andy Piercefield, Zach Chapman, Austin McGlone, not here tonight. Scratch. They headed north. We'll see them next Wednesday. And Adam, this Tater Williams, I like this guy. He's going to be someone to be reckoned with here tonight as we're about to go back to green at Volusia Speedway. 6 laps to go here in Carrier Heat Race number 2.
You're absolutely right, Travis. Now, Tater Williams, here's a guy who I know is going to make an impact, especially in these heat races. When he's got that outside line, boom, you're gonna feel it. You're gonna know when he's on your outside.
Bender behind him here as the front 3 break away. Tater Williams has the lead. They're going to be halfway this time by, and Tater Williams is leading us at Volusia. See what Bender does here. See if Bender over to the outside of Tater Williams there. Caleb Ramsey to his inside. So Tater Williams breaks away subtly there. Carlton now, he was caught up in that caution, Adam. He's now entering the picture with those top 3, but he's running out of time with only 2 laps to go.
He's playing it slow. Carlton really is as cool as the other side of the pillow, but he's kind of diving in there right now. Like to see that. He's racing hard, even with 1 lap remaining. It's Williams, Bender, and Ramsey in that order with Carlton trying to maybe get third. It's going to be a little difficult, though, as Williams looks to have a safe lead in the final turn.
Bender make attempt, so will Carlton. See how hard he enters the corner. It won't be enough. It's Tater Williams, Carrier Heat Race number 2.
Heck of some racing right there. Good to see as we prepare for the 3rd and final heat race.
So now we have our Carrier Heat Race number 3.
That's right. John Hine, the announcer and the racer, side by side with Bob Klein, hunkered in from the cold Minnesota weather right now. Behind them, Steven Spees and Jesse Isidore, and Joshua Johnson behind them. So all over the country, we get some great drivers here in the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series. And excited to see it wrap up tonight with the Carrier Heat races before we head into the Combs Cuts Last Chance Showdown.
Of course, John Hine, part of Gambler Motorsports, also a broadcaster here on Extreme eSpeed TV. I talked to him before the season started last week, Adam. He and the Gambler Motorsports guys had been putting a lot of work into these tracks we were visiting this season, looking to improve. They felt like qualifying was going to be key. And looking with John Hine starting on the pole of this heat race, that's exactly what he was able to do and put together tonight. So big goals for John Hine here at Volusia tonight.
Yeah, big goals for John, and ones that I know that you're kind of close to him from a broadcast booth perspective. So if he's slacking on any of those goals, I know you like to keep him on his toes and make sure he's and sticking to him. And he's done a great job so far this season. John Hine currently 108 points on the year behind Bob Klein.
So that iRacing pace truck pulls on in. It's our 3rd of 3 Carrier Heat races tonight. Bob Klein, John Hine touch as they come out of turn number 4. Hine will try to battle back on that inside as they'll slide up. Oh, there's contact. Bob Klein will go around.
Bang, a lot going on right there. A little bit of a incident. We'll see if we can get that replay for you.
So watch here. John Hine will slide up in front of Bob Klein.
Boom. Definitely well said right there. Good to see everyone seems to be okay, though.
We'll watch that replay one more time. You see they touched coming out of turn number 4. Hine had to try to make up some ground. Slides up in front. You got a boom there. Boom into that outside wall. Inside wall there as well by Joshua Johnson. Boom down there.
Certainly, certainly. As looks Klein trying to catch up, and we're all right. As we try to restack the deck, it really looked like what happened there is maybe John Hine got a little too loose. Clearly got in the front side of Klein, but damage doesn't look too bad. But you're going to want to minimize that. It was very early on in this heat race. Pace truck getting them all set and situated. Not much of a shake-up here, though, in terms of the lineup and how they fall. So we'll see if they can do it on the track with some racing here in a moment.
So you can see that caution and when it came out will benefit everyone, really. Restarting where they started this race. So John Hine, Bob Klein will bring us back to green. Green flag waves. We're halfway. 4 laps to go in carrier heat race number 3. Jesse Isidore trying to move up to the front as he'll move into that 3rd spot as he works the outside of the 55 of Speeds. Now Klein looks to the inside of Hine.
Ooh, Klein trying to do a little Collinsworth slide right now. Good neck-and-neck action taking place, but Hine, I think he feels a little more comfortable on that outside. You saw that first caution that happened when he was on the inside lane. Look at that dive right there by Klein. They might make some contact. Good job checking up, and it's really to the benefit of John Hine.
Jesse Isidore looking to the inside of Bob Klein. Those are our 2 rookies in this carrier heat race. As Isidore is moved up to the 3rd spot. But out front, it's John Hine. Halfway, 4 laps to go here in carrier heat race. And they've got single file. You got Speeds looking to the inside of Jesse back there for a 3rd. Otherwise, John's got a gap of about 4/10 on Klein.
Yeah, you know, for the heat races we've seen tonight, this really is the largest gap, aside from Dylan Perry's. And it's good to see John Hine kind of picking up some distance. Good to know that he does have the ability to pull away. But Klein, heck of a racer, and he's not going to give up without a fight as we have 2 laps to go now.
So John Hine continues to lead as he leads Bob Klein here with 1 lap to go at Volusia. This is our 3rd and final heat race here tonight. Hine down the back stretch for the final time through turns 3 and 4. He'll slide up. That might open the door for Klein. It's not enough as it's Hine with the win. And Adam, that will take us to tonight's Combs Cuts Last Chance Showdown. And with that, that's our starting lineup for our Last Chance Showdown.
Cody Early.
Cody Early will start on the pole next to Jordan Van Westen. Row number 2 is Joshua Johnson next to Brian Boyles. And rounding out our field is the 77 of Bobby Rafferty. So 12 laps make up our Combs Cuts Last Chance Showdown. So this will set the final 5 positions for our 50-lap featured night.
This is a fun group right here. Really got 4 veterans of the league along with the rookie Rafferty. So this is going to be kind of new territory for these four in a small package dealing with Rafferty, and then Rafferty vice versa, trying to figure out kind of the tells that you pick up over a long season and longevity with these racers, seeing how are they going to do this. And it's one thing when it's a full field, but this is going to be kind of a tight battle in my opinion. I think we're going to see maybe a couple lead changes. You get basically 12 laps, so plenty of room for movement.
So Cody Early will lead us to green here in our Combs Cuts Last Chance Showdown. Dozen laps. Green flag will wave, and we're back to racing action here at Volusia tonight. You can see that middle line that's come in there, Adam. See how that moves up the track as Jordan will slide up the track. That'll open the door for Cody Early to the inside. Bobby Rafferty makes it 3 wide through 3 and 4. See if he's able to make it pay off as he'll move by the Jordan Van Westen machine, but not enough for Joshua Johnson.
Yeah, we saw some contact really on the first turn, but they've all kind of reset and settled down and caught back up. But yeah, a couple 3-wide opportunities, whether it's for second or trying to go for first. 10 laps to go, and it's been a pretty entertaining first couple.
As Bobby Rafferty's up 3 spots, he started at the tail end of the field. Now he's moving up. He's moved up into that second position. He's still got Joshua Johnson to his outside as he falls back to third. But out front, it's Cody Early leading with 9 laps to go.
Yeah, Cody kind of holding his own. He's got Joshua in a pretty decent position. Joshua maybe a little loose, falls back at least what looked like quite a bit. Good recovery by Johnson as Rafferty kind of playing in the weeds right now.
Oh, almost 3 wide as Bobby Rafferty sticks his nose in the middle of that one. As Early's out front, Rafferty now to the outside of Joshua Johnson, uses that momentum. He'll move into the second spot, and now he sets his sights on the leader of Early.
Yeah, Cody doing a good job holding his own. It's going to be tough, though. Rafferty really nose to nose, and for a brief moment, Rafferty's got the lead, but a little slipping and sliding gives Cody a chance to take it back.
Past halfway, only 5 laps to go this time by Bobby Rafferty will lead that lap. He'll move to the inside of Early. They're still side by side going into turn number 3. And they'll have 4 laps to go this time by.
Man, this is entertaining. You see him about even that lap right there. Best time, quickest time is belonging to Bobby Rafferty with a 16 flat. Joshua Johnson also putting out a 16.05, so there's a possibility he could get by Early. And with 3 laps to go, it kind of still is early.
So Rafferty now to the inside. He'll clear Early down the backstretch this time by. As now Joshua Johnson has made this a 3-car race out front. Bobby Rafferty to the lead. 2 laps to go here in Combs Cuts Last Chance Showdown. As you see now, Johnson makes an attempt on Early. It's not enough as Bobby Rafferty looks to hold on to this one.
Yeah, not the best turn there. Couple back for Cody Early and opens the door for Rafferty. If he hits his marks, the rookie going to beat some of the vets here in the Combs Cuts Last Chance Showdown.
So through 3 and 4 for the final time, it's going to be the 77. Bobby Rafferty wins the Last Chance Showdown at Volusia. Cody Early second, Joshua Johnson in third. And with that, that is all our racing action here for tonight's preliminary events from Volusia Speedway Park. And with that, we'll take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll have our pre-race festivities, including our national anthem.
People want to have a one-stop shop. They need us for now all these different services, not just the heating and air side.
When things are going wrong, you want the company that's going to be able to get things done as fast as possible for you.
Today, we're going to be in over 600 homes. What the customers can count on is we're going to send a competent person to your home with a vehicle that's stocked and prepared. We're going to do what's right.
Right now, we're waiving our $79 service fee with any Coolray, Brightbox, or Mr. Plumber service.
Dyer Trucking in Mohawk, Tennessee is family owned and operated, and their main goal is to always please their customers and deliver their freight in a timely manner. If you need it hauled and you're in East Tennessee, the number you need is 423-393-4229. That's 423-393-4229. Dyer Trucking's also on Facebook. Pick up the phone and give Brad and his family a call today. Dyer Trucking. If you need it, they can get it. Find them on Facebook.
Welcome back to Volusia Speedway Park. Before we get back to racing action here tonight, we have tonight's pre-race festivities that include first our national anthem. And with that, we'll head to commercial break one final time. When we come back, we'll have your starting lineup for tonight's feature event.
It rose from humble beginnings in the Valley of the Sun. A sprint car racer saw the need for racing shirts. And now, the vision of Carl Korbacher has resulted in Arizona Sport Shirts helping racers across America spread their message. For the best custom designed shirts, hoodies, caps, koozies, and much more, go to ArizonaSportShirts.com. Be part of history. Arizona Sport Shirts, the original racing shirt.
Tire and Service Center is your one-stop shop for all your car care needs, and they're now a Cooper Tire dealer. American tires for the American worker. Buy a set of Cooper tires and get free tire rotation and repairs for the life of the tire. They have a 12,000-mile or 12-month warranty on most repairs. Check out 107 Tire and Service Center. They're located at 6256 Irwin Highway, Chuckey, or call them at 423-620-4970. For all your car care needs, 107 Tire and Service Center. Family owned and operated. And their number one goal is your satisfaction. Find 107 Tire and Service Center on Facebook or call them today at 423-620-4970.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
Welcome back to Volusia Speedway Park. It's night number 3 of the Coolray Winternationals, Adam, and it is time for our feature event. And Adam, you've got tonight's starting lineup.
That's right. It'll be defending champ. And the champ before that, Dylan Perry and Tater Williams on the front row. Behind them, John Hine and Aiden Young. Third row of Brandon Bender and Bob Klein. Behind them, Colin Boyles and Caleb Ramsey making up the fourth row. Jesse Isidore side by side with Jacob Lassiter. And behind them, Brett Carlton and Steven Spees. Next row, Bobby Rafferty and Cody Early. Behind them, Joshua Johnson and Brian Boyles, with Jordan Van Westen rounding out the rear.
As we make our pace laps around, Adam, do you have a favorite here as we come to night number 3?
I can't remember earlier if it was on the mic or off. You were talking about how Dylan Perry's going to have a pretty strong night. I guess I'll kind of take the other side of that. I'm going to go with Tater Williams, who Admittedly says this isn't his favorite track, not his best track, but he's just been so consistent. I do think it's going to take a couple cautions for the guys to get close again, but I think we'll see a good finish, especially, and I'd like to see one of with Austin McGlone out. I'd like to see a guy who doesn't normally get a top 5, maybe get a top 3 even tonight.
So we will get going here from Volusia Speedway Park for night number 3 of our Winter Nationals. Dylan Perry, Tater Williams leading us to green. iRacing Pace Truck pulls on in. We're about to go green in front of this great crowd at Volusia, side by side. Dylan Perry, Tater Williams, our 2 winners for this week, battle as they head off into turn number 1, and it's quick as the caution comes out. It looks like Joshua Johnson involved. Starting back there, second to the last row. Oh, and it looks like just got checked up behind Bobby Rafferty there. A little push to the rear by Van Weston, and around he goes. So with that, we'll restack them. See John Foskey joining the chat. We had John in here night number 1 of Winter Nationals. A lot of fun having him up in the booth with us, talking about it from the driver's perspective. So we'll reline them back up. We'll start it over. As just the last 3 will shake up a little bit. Everyone else right back to their starting spots and get back to racing action.
Kind of an earlier start to today's race. I know the last 2 nights we've been under the lights, so good to see the sun shining. Curious to see how much racing we get in before it gets a little bit darker, and see how that track will darken up as well. And that's kind of the fun about really the versatility that you get with these Winter Nationals trips to Volusia. And really anytime you come to Volusia, you're going to get a little bit of a different track every time, and it can be the same spot, but different storyline, which is kind of fun for not only the drivers, but of course us viewers from home. I'm really excited to see what the storyline, what the theme of tonight will be when we get to talk to our podium finishers. It almost feels like each time we talk to them, they're talking about a different track. So kind of fun to get that perspective. Pace Truck, we'll see if they pull off here. Looks like he will.
And Dylan Perry, Tater Williams will lead us back to green here at Volusia. Green flag waves as they head off into turn number 1. Again, we'll see if we're able to complete that lap as they make their way around. You can see side by side throughout the field as it's Dylan Perry jumping out to the lead. John Hine now looking to the inside of Tater Williams.
Good racing right now, but they are all trying to keep up with Dylan Perry. Oh, looks like we get some contact into the wall. We'll see if it brings out the caution. Oh, Tater gets hit. Bang!
That is Cody early they got on him. We'll take a look at that Coolray instant replay, even though we were watching it live. Started there, John Hine, Aiden Young, and Tater there just ran out of real estate on that front stretch. And they'll bring out our second caution of the night. That's going to put Tater in the work area, and he will restart at the rear.
A big deal, especially, for Dylan Perry. You never want to see a guy get knocked out because of a caution, but that could really give Dylan Perry some breathing room. Biggest threat, most likely, was going to be Tater Williams, and it still could be when he gets back out there. But he's going to have to climb up in the spots. And what's kind of funny is we might, in the first 10 laps of this race, we might have the most cautions we've seen with the smallest field, oddly enough.
So they'll So Dylan Perry, John Hine, we'll see if we stack them back up. It looks like we may have a single file restart here again. see if we, oh, nope, there we go. So double file restart here again. It's going to be John Hine on the outside of Dylan Perry, so a different dance partner there for him as they look to do-si-do here into lap number 1. So we won't go green this time by, though. We'll go around one more. So Aiden Young, Caleb Ramsey there in that second row. A couple drivers to pay attention to. Even third row there with Klein and Lassiter. So the iRacing pace truck pulls on in. We're going back to green. It's Dylan Perry. Good jump for him as it's Brandon Bender and Aiden Young behind him battling for that second spot.
Once again, good start there for Dylan Perry. Aiden Young, kind of a good statement race this could be for him. He always does pretty well, does a good job of keeping away from contact, especially early part of last season. Did a really good job, had some bad luck in the middle of the year, but gets passed there by Brandon Bender, a name we haven't brought up too much, but good to see him making some moves. So we are now 6 laps in, just over 10% of the way. Guys starting to get settled down a little bit of into their stride of things. 17 cars out there, certainly looks like a full field, especially there in the middle of the pack. If you didn't catch the beginning of the broadcast, there's a small thing on the line tonight when it comes to Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series records. Whoever gets the win between Tater Williams and Dylan Perry next, well, they're going to be our all-time wins leader for the series. Which is a pretty big deal here as we approach 10 laps to go. Looking to be kind of off each other's bumpers right now, giving a little more space.
So Great Battle's back in the pack. Oh, as the caution comes out, we were watching Bob Klein attack that 51 of Jacob Lassiter. It looks like Bobby Rafferty, who had a good run earlier tonight, is going to bring out our latest caution.
See what happens here. Oh, but Hine got a little loose up top. Not sure that matters. Oh, just the 77 getting in there. Oh.
Clipped by Colin Boyles, it looked like. And that will bring out our third caution of the night.
Well, our mentor, DW, says cautions breed cautions. And it's happening right now.
So on that longest green flag run of the night, Adam, Tater Williams was able to move on up slightly. He's up into that 13th spot now.
I mean, look at that, though. Steven Spees having a great year so far. Already up 7 spots.
On the flip side, you have John Hine there, who's caught up in that second caution slightly. He's back 8 spots. He started third. He's now in the 11th position.
When you're looking at some of the best lap times out there right now, you just got to look at the top. I mean, clearly a 16.16 for Brandon Bender. I think if he can keep that speed up. Unfortunately, the second fastest time, and it's not much slower, is Dylan Perry in front of him, as you see there on the left side of your screen. Race control shuffling a little bit, making sure everybody's in their right spot before we go green, but you see it there now. some fast speeds in those top four, especially. Tater Williams doing his best to improve upon that. He's going to need to do his best and improve to get a little bit closer, get back into the top 10, if anything.
So they're lined back up. Dylan Perry continues to lead. He's got Brandon Bender to his right. Aiden Young, Jesse Isidore behind him. Green flag will wave as the iRacing pace truck pulls on into the infield. We're back to green flag racing. We're 1/5 of the way through this one as we work lap number 11 of 50.
Good speed. Beautiful camera angles here on the iRacing broadcast. Love to see that. A little congested there in the middle of the pack. Nothing new, though.
Aiden Young looks to the inside of Brandon Bender. That's a great battle for second position. As Aiden Young tries to look to the inside, he will clear Bender as they enter turn number 3. As there's side-by-side racing action behind him back in the pack, you got John Hine into the inside as he's dropped another position, now to the 12th position.
Aiden Young continuing to be consistent and strong in tonight's race. And really, he's not even having to, at the moment at least, as the caution comes out.
This includes the 71 of John Hine. Oh, Brian Voiles just up the track into that 71 machine. Around goes John. Gets into that early machine.
You gotta think, getting into the commish, that might get you a little letter and a little donation in the mail you're gonna have to fulfill. Keep running into that, man. But as I was saying, Aiden Young just looking really good tonight. Doesn't look like he's got enough, at least at this point in the race, to catch Dylan Perry, but at the same time, it doesn't look like the guys behind him, at least on that last green flag run, had much to catch up to him, so a unique situation with that 69 car.
So Aiden Young, he did break away from the rest of the group there, so he was setting his sights on that P7 machine. Aiden Young out of Dalton, New Hampshire. He's in his second full-time season here. 29 career starts. This marks number 30. Did pick up a win last year, 8 top 5s in his career, and 26 top 10. So we talk about that record for Dylan Perry having 34 top 10s and 34 starts. Aiden Young's not far behind there, Adam, as he's got 26 and 29 starts.
That's what I like about Aiden Young. He's never going to be a look-at-me type of guy. He kind of just lets his actions on the track do the talking, and tonight they might make for some pretty good conversation. Would love to be able to talk to him here in the booth later tonight if we can get a podium finish from Aiden.
So they will get lined back up. Head down that backstretch side by side. Coming back to green this time by iRacing pace truck moves on into the infield there in turn number 4. Green flag comes out. Dylan Perry's the leader. Great start from him. Looks like Aiden Young spun the tires there. That'll open the door for Jesse Isidore to the inside. Also, Steven Spees now looking to the inside of that 69.
Pretty decent recovery there by Aiden, but not sure the top line is preferred as you see some good speed and everybody kind of trying to group down there. Oh, hopefully he doesn't get any contact there. Good job by Aiden to kind of clear, at least for the moment, Isidore. And Bender, Spees once again jumping up.
3 wide, headed into turn number 3. Isidore will slide up in front of Bender there. He'll have to let up as that group tightens up. Heading into turn number 1. Great battle here as the caution flag will wave, and it looks like it's Brian Voiles. Oh, and it's John Hine getting into the back of that, Adam. I'm going to assume what happened there, but those two were involved in that previous caution.
Dirt racing finds a way to equal things out over time. John Hine, usually a very patient driver. Not going to insinuate anything, not going to assume. Not going to instigate. As you can tell by my tone, there's thoughts.
Dylan Perry out front. He's got thoughts of winning here again tonight. Taking 2 of 3 from Winternationals would definitely leave you happy leaving the state of Florida.
Good, happy ending to the week.
So they'll get lined back up side by side.
What I've liked about this entire league and what we've seen so far this season is we're 3 complete races in, and it's pretty cool because it's a lot of times you kind of get in the beginning part of the year, you got to knock the rust off, but these guys are not rusty at all.
As they get lined back up, ready to go. Be interested to see what Aiden Young's able to do here, Adam. He's got a fast car, obviously. Spun his tires last restart. See if he's able to get a clean jump here on this time, as he's got that control car of Dylan Perry to his left. Green flag waves. Dylan Perry takes the lead off into turn number 1. Isidore jumps to the inside again. Spees will poke his nose to the middle, so 3-wide battle for second continues with those same 3 cars behind Dylan Perry.
Yeah, not a bad restart this time for Aiden Young, and he recovered well last time, but it almost looked like he's gaining some speed as the green flag laps kind of go on. I don't think he's the biggest fan of having to constantly restart, so if we can keep away from these cautions, wouldn't be shocked seeing Aiden Young maybe pull away or at least find a little more confidence in whatever lane he finds himself settled into.
So Isidore is still looking to the inside of Aiden Young there. Spees is now separated from the rest of the pack as he runs in that 4th spot. Dylan Perry, though, out front. 21 laps now on the clock as we complete lap number 20 for Dylan Perry out front. As he's separated, 0.7 of a second lead for him there. Looking back in the pack, though, you've got great battles as Lassiter looks to the outside of Bender and Bob Klein watches on from behind.
Yeah, pretty impressive, Dylan Perry, how quickly from a restart he's able to just get the jump, and kind of shows you just the level of racing he's at. And if Tater can get up there, you might see him put more competition. But for Tater, he's still back in the 12th position, down 10 from where he started. Tater doing a good job of trying to battle back.
So this battle with Lassiter. Oh! Spees and Isidore make contact there. They're still side by side. That's a battle for the 3rd position. Spees trying to make move. And Adam, it's looking like this track's very similar to the last 2 nights, where it is very difficult to pass, and you have to make that contact to try to make the pass complete.
Yeah, very difficult to pass, but very unforgiving as well. You see guys make a little slip up, and it's amazing how quickly they just get passed right around. So holding your speed is a big deal here, and that's kind of why it's been a big credit to Dylan Perry. He's got that clean air, and as we see the caution come out.
So Joshua Johnson involved in this one. Let's see what exactly happened here. It looks like Brian Boyles gets into the back of him. Around goes Johnson. Ooh, Cody Hurley early collected in that one. As it is another caution here. 25 laps complete for 24 laps complete for Dylan Perry.
I feel bad that we're kind of mentioning some of these guys towards the back half of the pack, and most of the mentions are coming via the cautions, but interesting to see the smaller field, smallest of the week, getting the most cautions, and maybe we'll get that single file restart you were alluding to earlier in the night, Travis.
Yeah, I think we had, I know we had 1 caution on Tuesday night. I think 3 cautions last night. We've already surpassed that for this evening's event. but we'll get them lined back up, ready to go. So Dylan Perry continues to lead.
We got some cars headed into the shop in the pits.
We can confirm the 71 of John Hine will end up 17th. After that latest contact with Brian Voiles, he went to the pits, loaded up, and he's headed home to St. Louis. So line back up, ready to go here. 24 laps complete. Getting closer and closer to that halfway mark. Green flag comes out. Dylan Perry jumps to the lead. It looks like Isidore is going to get alongside Aiden Young again to the inside. And there's Spees looking to the middle.
Man, quite the restart there for Isidore and Spees. Caution out.
This one for the 77 of Bobby Rafferty. We'll take a look at this replay. Looks like Van Weston gets into his left rear. Round goes Rafferty. So we will have some more caution laps here and get ready to go. So after tonight's Winternationals feature event, that's 150 feature laps completed here this week at Volusia, Adam. And you've got to give a lot of credit to this grounds crew here at Volusia. The track has withheld all this racing action, looking great here on night number 3.
Yeah, you got groundskeeper Gary out there doing a great job keeping it clean. I know he's been bunking with Andy lately. Good to see them. Good to see them bonding and tight booth up here all week. Good to spend the time with you. I think we're ready to get back to our families before a busy March schedule. In fact, if you missed it in the notebook earlier, each Wednesday night in March, full of racing in the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series, and we've got some fun tracks, some new tracks as well. We've got first ever trip to Lucas Oil Speedway. Obviously, the Ice Bowl kicked things off in March, but in the moment, worried about tonight and finishing up Winternationals as the pace truck pulls off.
We will go single file restart. Dylan Perry leads us back to green. We're past halfway, only 24 laps to go now here in this feature event. Isidore there in the middle as he's got Steven Spees to his inside. Got that battle for second. Heats up again quickly here under green. We can confirm as Aiden Young moves into that second spot. Spees now looking to the inside of Isidore. Great battle, 3 wide back there as well as Bob Klein. He's trying to move up through the field. But Steven Spees, he's up to 4th, Adam. He started in 12th. A great run for that Gambler Motorsports driver tonight.
Absolutely. And man, just look at that. It's almost 2, 3 wide, 3 wide, 2 wide. It is just a jumble in there right now. And as Dylan Perry takes off, these guys are in the real nitty-gritty part of the track right now. I mean, it doesn't look like much from our perspective. Oh, gosh.
Looks like it's going to be for that 117 of Joshua Johnson. He just slid up across Colin Voiles. Boom! Hard into that outside wall. And that will bring out our latest caution of the night.
Looks to be a little smoke in the infield as well. Fire Marshal Freddie looking to get that taken care of. It should be on the right side of your screen if it's still smoking. Looks like they got that cleaned up.
So this Track continues to widen out here. We had a single file restart there as we completed 28 laps now, so 22 laps to go. Still Dylan Perry, last year's champion, in the lead. Aiden Young's hungry to grab his second win of the year. Oh, and that's the Joshua Johnson machine smoking in the infield there. He's in that work area. That just don't look right, Adam.
No, like I said, Fire Marshal Freddie definitely wants to get that exterminated quickly. Luckily, they've got Exterminator Eddie on the scene as well.
As it's Dylan Perry leading us back to green, single file restart here. As just an update there, it looks like Brian Voiles will lock down that 16th finishing position as he is loaded up for the night. But the green flag waves, and Dylan Perry's looking to load up another trophy here tonight at Volusia as he takes the green flag. You see that battle behind him. Bob Klein, Bender make contact there. They're battling for the 6th spot. The front 5, though, there get separated with some space. Is now 4 wide coming out of turn number 4. It's going to be Aiden Young in second as he continues to follow that P7 of Dylan Perry.
Yeah, you know, each of these restarts haven't always been easy for Aiden Young, but he's done a really good job of just staying really in front of the competition, you know, whatever it's taken. And right now, I think he's comfortable in that top line. He's kind of following Dylan Perry. It's going to be difficult to gain ground on him, though, with that strategy, but nonetheless, he's making it work at least by keeping the guys behind him at bay.
Carlton there battling Caleb Ramsey. That's a battle for the 9th spot. I'm sorry, it's Carlton looking to the inside of Tater Williams. Caleb Ramsey behind him in 10th. As Tater Williams has made his way slowly but surely back up to that 8th spot, you got to think he's a driver that's hoping for some green flag laps here to try to pass some cars and move closer up there to the lead.
Oh, absolutely. And you see Tater now in the 7th spot, you know, in front of Brett Carlton. And not sure what the issue is with Carlton's car tonight. It just, you saw how well he was running night number 1, night number 2. Not as great last night, but still, tonight just isn't looking like his night with this car. And you got to think he's ready for March. I think he's still going to be a big factor all season. So it's going to be interesting. We can even watch here on a microcosm scale, just kind of see how he does here against Tater Williams, although he's got a little bit of traffic in front of him.
So Speeds is still in that 4th spot, but he has Lassiter and Klein all over the back of him as they battle for position. They trade him on and off, and quickly like that, Adam, we're down to 14 laps to go.
Yeah, I think now with the 15-car field at the moment, make that 14 with Joshua Johnson off the track a lot more spread out. You know, you never want to assume we're not going to see any cautions, but 13 laps to go. They're definitely making quick time now, and it is kind of a single file, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th.
So you can see Bob Klein, he'll fall back in line behind Lassiter. Out front, though, it's Dylan Perry, 0.4 of a second lead over Aiden Young with a dozen laps to go. Dylan Perry looking to pick up his 14th career Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series win. As mentioned, that would be the most in series history.
Got a feeling Dylan Perry's going to be setting more than just this record. I think he's going to be one that you look back on and he's going to be scattered all over Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series record books.
So this time out of turn number 4, they will have 10 laps to go. It's Dylan Perry in the lead. He leads Aiden Young as Aiden has chopped a 10th off that lead. Now down to 0.3 of a second. Almost gets it down to 0.2 of a second. As he's really had a great run here. Aiden's closing up that gap as we're coming to 9 to go.
Yeah, a little impressed right now. Maybe Aiden Young holding some, cards in the sleeve right now, but he's kind of putting the pressure on Dylan Perry, a pressure that Dylan hasn't felt much tonight.
So 8 laps to go now. Dylan Perry does have that pressure turned up from Aiden Young. Aiden's closed that gap to just over 0.2 of a second. It's Cole Livingston. He's cheering on Dylan Perry up front. Excited to see him leading again here at Volusia. But that lead is not getting stretched out as Aiden Young continues to stalk him from behind as the caution comes out. Cody Early back to the pack. Alone there. Oh, up and over. Bang! So a good green flag run there. We were able to complete lap number 43, so that leaves 7 to go for all the math majors out there. Dylan Perry continues to lead. We'll see if we keep it. Should be a single file restart here as Aiden Young, Jesse Isidore try to chase down that 7 machine of Dylan Perry. And looking through Adam, Tater Williams now picked up another spot. He's in that 7th spot. So slowly but surely moving on up through the field. Going to salvage a better position finish than maybe one would have thought earlier in this event.
If you look at these cars, even the leader, there's a lot of dirt. It doesn't look like the slickest of tracks, but it's a dirty one. It's a dirty dirt track tonight.
So it looks like the lights are off that iRacing pace truck. And we are about to go back to green here with 7 laps to go. Single file restart. Perry, Young, Isidore, Spees, Lassiter will make up your top 5. Looks like Cody Early is out. He'll come home 14th. Green flag waves. Dylan Perry, good jump there. You see the battles back there for 3rd on back as Aiden Young has cleared that first group of cars. And now he's closing up that gap on Dylan Perry. It's down to about 0.3 of a second again, Adam. Looks very similar to what we had before that caution flag came out. As Aiden Young jumps to the inside, he's making a move for the lead.
Yeah, Aiden Young doing everything he can. He knows time is money, time is limited, and he's going to go all out. He's going to leave it out on the track. We'd love to see it.
So he cuts into that lead of Dylan Perry. Dylan Perry now moves to the inside through 1 and 2. Great battle back there for 3rd. You can see Bob Klein, Lassiter, Spees all 3 wide. That's a battle for 4th. So Dylan Perry will jump to the inside, try to cut off what Aiden Young had going on. Aiden Young jumps back out to the outside. Only 3 laps to go, Adam.
Respecting the effort right now from Aiden Young at this point. Do everything he can to possibly salvage the opportunity. I'm not sure he's going to be able to get up there and pass Perry, but nonetheless, don't give up your 2nd place spot. Now it's kind of like preserve what you have. This is a big deal.
So that gap has separated there as Dylan Perry, now 0.7 of a second lead up on Aiden Young. White flag waves. It's that P7 machine like we've seen so many times the last 2 seasons. Out in front here at Volusia. Down the backstretch for the final time through 3 and 4. Make it 14 career wins. It's Dylan Perry at Volusia of Winternationals night number 3. So Dylan Perry will claim another victory here at Volusia. He'll take 2 of the 3 nights. Point of note, Tater Williams comes home 6th. Aiden Young picks up that 2nd place. Jesse Isidore picks up a 3rd. That'll be his first podium finish of his career in the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series. Of Of course, a short career thus far, and his first top 5. He now has 4 top 10s and 4 career starts. As we wait for those top 3 finishers to join us up here in the booth at Volusia. As you see them get parked there on the front stretch, in front of this great crowd here in Barberville, Florida. And we'll get us started, Adam. It looks like you're with our second place finisher, Aiden Young.
That's right. Happy to have Aiden Young here. And Aiden, early in the season, obviously, but from our vantage point, your best race of the season. How are you feeling?
Yeah, it feels good. Just trying to get back in the rhythm here with the late model and seeing what we can do.
Any point in this race tonight, I know you got close. There were definitely a lot of restarts. Towards the end there, you're getting close to Dylan Perry. Did you ever feel like you had enough to get by him?
Yeah, maybe once or twice, but I just couldn't get going on the restarts. I don't know what the car was doing, but...
how are you feeling about, we've got a jam-packed month of March. Are any tracks specifically in the near future that you're kind of looking forward to getting to?
Not really. Maybe I-55 will be a good one. Just got to push on through and just see what it gives us.
Absolutely. Before we let you go, any partners, any people you want to thank?
I got to thank Coolray, as always, for being on the car this season. Obviously, my team for Gambling Motorsports for helping me out, and obviously you guys for broadcasting.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations, Aiden. Hopefully we'll get to talk to you soon.
Thank you.
That's Aiden Young, our second place finisher. Now joining us in the booth, his first career top 5. It's Jesse Isidore. Jesse, great run tonight. Kind of walk us through that battle you were a part of. It seemed like about a half a dozen cars were battling for that third position all night long.
Yeah, especially with all the restarts, it really boils down to who gets the best restart sometimes, and I got really nervous on that last one because I was asleep. Like I don't know what I was doing, but I fell asleep on that last restart. But Steven was just buried in my door panel for 2-3 laps after every caution, and I was getting nervous. So, but as we would get green flag laps, I tend to pull ahead a little bit. But, boy, it was rough restarts though. It was a good time though.
As you mentioned, there was a few more cautions tonight than the last couple nights. You started 9th, you come home 3rd. Did those cautions play into your favor, or were you looking for maybe a couple more longer green flag runs?
So when you're coming from that far back, I think I started like 12th or something like that. It's kind of a catch-22. I used at least one caution to my favor with a little bit of luck. Got by a couple of cars, but when you have cautions in rapid succession like that, it's tough because there was times where the caution would come out and it would put 5 guys that I just passed back in front of me, you know what I mean? So that doesn't help, but I can't be mad with a 3rd place result, It really, car came to me about halfway through the race and it just felt good, I think the slick track state is tough for a lot of people. I think that's why we had so many cautions,
So Jesse, you're a rookie in this series this year. 4 races in, you pick up 4 top 10s, your first top 5. What's your take so far here early, and what's your goals for the season?
I think my goals are just finish on average as good as I can. I'm not the type of person who likes to win it or bin it. I like to just be consistent. So I'm going to just keep being consistent and try not to do anything stupid. I've had a lot of fun here. I've had a couple of incidences where I got dumped or junked or whatever, but that's par for the course when you got this many guys running door to door and running into each other. I think me and poor Steven have been duking it out in every race so far. So, it's good to kind of have a little back and forth, and also know that the guy behind you is not going to kill you. You know.
Well, great run. Congratulations on that first top 5. Any sponsors you want to give a shout out to, Jesse?
Yes, sir. I actually have to give a shout out to a bunch of them. I want to say shout out to Exiled Esports, my team, Premier Racing Setups, FGR Excel, Simrap Market, Bucked Up, Design the Void, my band, and Ancient World Gaming.
Well, like I said, congratulations on that first top 5, and we look forward to seeing you and talking to you more throughout the season. That's our second place finisher, Jesse Isidore, tonight. And now we'll throw it down to Victory Lane, where Adam has our winner. It's Dylan Perry.
Absolutely. If you've been following the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series, it's a name you've come familiar with. And Dylan, something we weren't familiar with so far early this season was having a race with that many cautions. Was it, from your perspective, you had such great restarts, and I know not always you feel that way, but did it affect your rhythm at all? It can kind of be hard for some of these guys to get a groove when we've got cautions.
Yeah, it definitely was kind of hurting the rhythm a little bit because we wouldn't get enough laps in on sometimes we wouldn't get enough laps in, so I wasn't able to figure out if the track was moving around it a whole lot. I was just going purely off of how the sound of Aiden going through 1 and 2, and it was about halfway through the race. I heard him get closer and closer on those restarts coming out of 2, so I was hoping that top was coming back in and moved up there, and it was good for a couple laps, but right there near the end, that bottom was getting ripe, and if that race would have been any longer, I think you'd have seen us go right back down to the bottom and hug that inside wall.
Obviously, Volusia Speedway Park been good to you this week, but a jam-packed schedule of racing here in March. Any specific tracks you're looking forward to?
I don't really have any specific one that I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to all of them. I'm excited to get the year started off a little bit better than we did last year, heading out of Speed Week. So hopefully that means good things for the rest of the year. But I'm just excited to get fired up and go through the rest of the year.
Absolutely, we love to hear that. And before we let you go, we're remiss to not mention that you are now, at least for the moment, Tater could catch back up to you, but you now have the most wins with 14 in the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series League history now. There's a lot of good drivers in this league. So what is, for the moment, kind of a benchmark accomplishment? What does this mean to you?
It means a lot, especially to be able to do everything that I was able to do last year. Last year was almost as close to perfect as I could ever imagine it. So to be able to finish the kind of goal that I had set last year, because I like to set goals as high as I possibly can, because worst case scenario, if I don't meet them, I still end up doing something that I never thought I would do. And last year I kind of had an own personal goal to either tie the most wins or beat it, and I came up a little short, but I'm glad to be able to take it over tonight. But the two guys that are now tied for second, dude, they're some pretty good drivers, and for me to be up there with them, I couldn't be more ecstatic.
Feels like the perfect time to also ask you, before we let you go, to shout out some of those partners. I know, each and every time you shout these people and these businesses out, it's because they mean a lot, and they're a big reason why you're here, right?
Oh yeah, of course. Without the guys that are on the car and help back at the shop or even sit and talk to me, without those guys, I wouldn't be anywhere close to who I am today. So it's hard for me to name every single one of them, and if I had more hours in the day, I'd tell y'all every single name. But just everybody that helps me week in and week out. Andy, he's been a tremendous help. I honestly don't think I could be where I'm at without him. All the guys at Chip Bangers Racing, Tater, McGlone, Combs, Bender, Brett, just everybody back at CBR, they helped me a whole bunch, and there's no way I'd be able to do anything that I'm able to do without those guys. Everybody over at Rapid Race Graphics, Stealth Racing Carburetors, Harrison Automotive, Newt's Lawn Care, Phantom Race Engines, Bangin' Sets by CBR, B&B Custom Baits, Combs Cuts, Goat Farm Posse, Dirt Chasers, just everybody that helps me week in and week out. I owe them more than I could ever give them, and I'm so glad that they're all on board, and I just truly couldn't do it without them.
We are definitely thrilled to have you in this league, and we know many more wins are to come. But for now, get some rest, and congrats again on a really great performance.
Thank you, and thank y'all for everything you do, and Cody for putting on this league. I mean, he's given me the opportunity to do what I've been able to do, and I couldn't thank him enough.
Absolutely. Big shout out to Cody, and big shout out to Dylan, your first place winner, closing out our week at Volusia. And Travis, a heck of a week we have. I know our bags are packed to head back home, but we're going to be remembering this trip for a while.
Another great trip south to Florida for Volusia Speedway Park and the 2023 Coolray Winternationals. We'll have those final running results up for you now to take a look at. But as we close down, we appreciate you tuning in all 3 nights if you did this week. It was a lot of fun down here in Volusia. We're going to shut it down, and we will be back with the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series next Wednesday night. So make sure you tune in. All our coverage begins at 8:05. For Adam Johnson, I'm Travis Piercefield. We appreciate you, and we will see you again at a track. You've been watching Extreme eSpeed TV.
This copyrighted broadcast of Extreme eSpeed TV Network is intended solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without express written consent of the Extreme eSpeed TV Network is strictly prohibited. We hope you've enjoyed this broadcast.